Well, thank you. Namaste. Can you hear us? My microphone is unmuted. Namaste, Grame.
Namaste, Swamiji. We can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much. We were just translating the 1,000 names of Saraswati, and we had written that book a long time ago. What are we doing?
Devi Gita.
Okay, and now, and we're on page 166. And here we go. We'll be with you in 1 minute. We're going to start chapter 8 today. Chapter 7 was really fun. Thank you all very much. Every time I get to read that scripture, I just get so much new understanding into what I'm doing here. I believe the Chandi and the Devi Gita make a trilogy. The Chandi, the Devi Gita, and the Samasti Upasana, the cosmic puja, put them all together. And does that say 6? Oh, I'll get lower. And here we are. Whoa, there we go. There. Now that is befitting a mama. Can you see that, Mom? Wow. So if you take the Chandi is mantra, and the Devi Gita is yantra, and the cosmic puja, the Samashi Upasana, is tantra. And you put them all together, and you have the mantra, yantra, and tantra, and mantrayate iti mantra. Mantra is the intuitive experience. And yantra is the intellectual explanation. And tantra is the practical application. And when you put the three together, we have a complete sadhana of body, mind, and soul. We get an intuitive experience and get to understand what it means and how to interpret it and apply it in our lives. And then practically, as we do the cosmic puja, we get to understand where do you put the flowers and why do you put them that way. And that's how these three books work together. So I'd like to begin chapter 8. Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste. Namaste, Srimad. Sri Devi Uvacha, and the goddess said, Ityadi Yoga Yuktatma. Tajemang Brahmarupinim Bhaktya Niryajoya Rajan Nasane Samupastita. Thus, by the various practices of yoga, iti adi yoga yuktatma. When you unite your soul, you yukta atma, unite the soul in meditation on me. Meditate on me, Brahma Rupini, who is the form of the Supreme Divinity. Thus, by the various practices of yoga, Adi Yoga Yukta Atma. Excuse me 1 minute, I forgot to turn on my light. And there it is. Oh, you have no battery. You need a battery. I don't have another. Thus, By the various practices of yoga, unite the soul in meditation on me, the form of supreme divinity, Brahma Rupini Dhyayen Mong. Meditate on me, the form Rupini of Brahma, the supreme divinity, Yukta Atma, unite your soul. Iti Adi Yoga Yuktatma, and unite your soul through the various practices of yoga. Bhaktiya, Nirya, Joya, Rajan, Nasane, Samapastita. O King, Rajan, devotees, Bhaktiya, should become free from all afflictions. Nirvyaj, Joya, become free. Nirvyaj. Nirvyajoya, become free from all afflictions and sitting in a yogic posture. Asana, in a yogic posture. Samupastitaha, become fully present. I had an old friend back in the 60s and 70s. His name was Baba Ramdas, and he said, "Be here now." You should become fully present. Avi sanikitanguya charanama mahatpadam. It is manifested in union, moving in secret, guhacharam, moving in secret, nam mahatpadam, whose name is a great word, mahatpadam, it's a great word. Atretan sarmarpitam ed jat pranani mishachayat. All that is, all manifested existence and all life attains liberation in it. Without it, there is no creation, there is no liberation. We all attain liberation in it. All that is, atritat, sarvamarpitam, all that, sarvamarpitam, ejat pranani mischayat, all life, all that is, all, every bit of liberation is attained in it. Remember the Bhagavad Gita in chapter 2. It is not born. It is not die. It is not slain. It does not slay. It is higher than the highest. It is lower than the lowest. It is omnipresent. What do you call it? We call it Shrima. Itajanata sadasadwarenyam. Param Viganam Adyadorishtam Prajanam Yadarpi Chita Mada Nunobyo Nucha Yasmin Loka Nihita Loki Nischa. It is the true of the true for all beings born. Hey, Janatha Sad Asad. Arenyam, the highest, Verenyam, the highest sat of all sat. It is the true of the true for all beings born, higher than the highest, most Param Vijnanam Adi, Aristam Prajanam. It is the most excellent knowledge for all that lives. It is brilliant, most minute among the small, and with it, the worlds have been fixed as well as their leaders. Yasmin loka nihita lokin nascha. All that is resides in it. Number 4, Tadek Takshaksharam Brahma. Sapani Stadu Bhagmanaha. It is the imperishable Brahma, the supreme divinity. Etad Aksharam Brahma. It is life, sa pranas, tadu bangmaya. It is speech. It is mind. It is, and only it is truth. Tade tat satyam amritam. It is the nectar of immortal bliss. The nectar of immortality. It alone is the beautifully pure knowledge. Tad e tavyam somya, the beautiful knowledge. Tanurgrihito panishadam mahastrang sarang hupasani sitang sandhita. Amyam yam sad baba gatena chitasa laksham tadiksha baksharang somyabide. In the bow, place the arrow of Upanishad. Take your bow, everybody. Take your bow and take an arrow from your quiver. It is the arrow of understanding. The Upanishad is your understanding. Mahastram, the great weapon to come close to the vicinity of union. Sharam Upanishadam Sandhiyata. It brings you close. That understanding brings you into the vicinity of union. Direct with an attitude of intuition, direct consciousness to the goal. Amyamya, tad baba gatena chetasa, your chetana, make it lakshyam, to the goal, to the laksha, to the evaksharam, somyabhide, only that beautiful, imperishable knowledge. Somya Bidi. That beautiful, imperishable knowledge. That eight aksharam. Only one letter is necessary. Pranavo Danusharo Yatma. Pranav, Om is the bow. Pranava Danu. Sharo Hyatma, the soul, the Atma is the Sharo, the Shara, the arrow. And the Supreme Divinity is the target or goal, Talaksham. That laksha, that goal, that target, uchate, is said to be the goal by means of full attention, aprametena vidavyam. By means of full attention, the knowledgeable one will cause the arrow to strike that target, whereupon he becomes me. Sharat tanmoyo bavet. He becomes more tanmoyo, me. With that arrow, Vedavyam, that knowledge, that where the knowledgeable one becomes, he causes the arrow to strike that target, and then he becomes me. Yes means Dioscha Prithvi Chantariksham Otam Manha Saha Pranishcha Sarve Tameve Kanjanat Atma Namanya Bacho Vimucha Ta Mritasya Setu. Here, heaven, Yasmin, yo. Here, heaven, earth, Prithvi, and the atmosphere have their being, cha antariksham, Dios, the heaven, Prithvi, the earth, antariksham, the atmosphere, have their being, along with the mind of all that lives, mota manaha, the mind, saha, praneshcha, all that lives, sarve, all that, everybody who takes breath. Tameve kanjanat atma manyam. It is the only one. Tameva ekam. It is the only one. Tameva ekam. The soul of all beings born. Janata, Atma, of all beings born, this Atma of all beings born, Nam Anya, and no other. Vacho, leave all words, Vimucha, Tamritas Yeva Setu. Take this Setu, this bridge, to the nectar of immortality. Or as we like to say, the nectar of immortal bliss. Amritam. Oragi Bharatana Bo Sangata Yatranadaya Sa Ishotastarite Bakuda Jayamanaka. Just as the spokes are attached to the hub of a wheel, all the spokes go out from the center. Aragiba Ratanabo Sangata. Ara, the spokes, Eva, just as Rata Nabo, the center, the hub of the rat, of the wheel, of the chariot, Sangata Yatratnadaya. In the same way, all the Narish, the subtle and gross channels of circulation, are fastened in the one. It moves within the interior as diverse victorious thoughts. Saeshon antarascharite. It moves charite antarascha antascha in the inside. Sa it shall these bahuda jayamanaka as various victorious thoughts. That's a beautiful one. Swasti it has many levels of meaning. Being is my own. Swasti. Or being it is. Meditate on the soul by means of Om. Om Ideva. In this way, by means of Om Dayat. Meditate Atmanang on the soul, which grants prosperity. Swasti, may being be your own is the highest prosperity. Will grant prosperity in rejecting darkness. Paraya tamasa, parastat. You make all the tamas paraya. It's excluded. It's rejected. It's by rejecting darkness. Divye Brahmapure Vyomni. In the light of the fire, Vyomni. In the burning in the city of the supreme divinity, Divye Brahmapure, in the city, in the Pure of Brahma, the supreme divinity, in the Divye, in the light, in the divine city, the light, the Atma Sampratishthita. The soul is completely established, Sampratishthita. It is some completely pratishtita, established. Number 10, Mano Maya Prana Shira Netha Pratishtito Ne Hridayam Sanidaya Tavidyane Paripasyanti Dira Anandarupa Amritan Yabibate. Mind manifests as the life force. Manomaya, the manifestation of mind. Prana Sharir as the life, the force of all life, as the breath of all life, as the life of all life. Established in the matter of the body, the most gross envelope of the Supreme Spirit, Pratishta, Pratishtito, Ane, in the Anamoy, Kosh, Pratishta, it is established, Hridayam, in the heart, Sanidaya, gathering together in the heart. By means of that knowledge, tad vidya jnanena paripasyanti dira. By means of that knowledge, the perceivers see beyond to the form of supreme bliss, Anandarupa, Amritan Yadibhati. They see the immortal bliss, the Amritan, the Anandarupa as the form of bliss. Then to the nectar of immortality, to that shining light. Vipati. Number 11, Vidyate Hridayam Grantis, Chindyante Sarvasanshaya, Shiyante Chasya Karmani, Tasmin Vishte Prabre, cleaving the bonds of the heart and cutting the knots of all doubts. Vidyate. Cut asunder, Hridaya Granti, the knots of the hearts, China Chande, cut, tear apart, Sadhava Shangshaya, all of the doubts, Sadhava Shangshaya, Shiyante Shashya Karmani, with the destruction of these bonds of activity, Shiyante Shashya Karmani, all the bondage of activity, cutting apart therefore, thereby you can perceive the highest blessing. Number 12, here on my the golden manifestation, the cosmic egg of existence. Here on my the golden manifestation is the ultimate sheether. It is the ultimate consistency which resides without attributes with the supreme divinity. Virajang, it resides Brahma in the supreme divinity. Nishkalam, without attributes. Tat Shubram, Jyotisham Jyotis, that radiant light of all lights, that Shubram, that radiant, pure, Jyotisham Jyotis, the Jyoti of all Jyotis, the light of all lights, that soul, Tad Dhyatma, Vido, is known by the wise. Huh? You like that, Mama? Yeah, it kind of describes your state of mind all the time. Nakatra Suryobati, Nachandra Tarakam, Nemo Vidyuto Bati, Kutuyamagni, Tameva Banta, Manu Bati Sarvam. Tasya Sarvam Idam Vibhati. There, Natatra is not there, Natatra, Suryavati, the light of the sun, Natandra, Tarakan, not the moon, not the stars, nor the stars. Nemo, neither does lightning shine there, Vidyut. No, Bandi, the lightning doesn't shine. Kuto Yamagni, nor the fire. Tameva, there only shines the light of all light that is. Tameva Bantamandu Bhakti Sarvang, the light of all the lights. Tasya Basa Sarvam Idam Vibhati, by means of which all is illuminated. Sarvam Idam, all this Vibhati is illuminated, shines the light of all light, that is the light which illuminates all this existence or every other light. They didn't change this in thousands of years. Why should I change it now? What is it, 40 years later, it says the same thing. Number 14, Brahma Vedam Amritam Pasyad Parastad Brahma. Pasyad Brahma Dakshina Sotarena. Adoshordvancham, Kasritam Brahme Vedam, Vishwambarishtam. Brahma, the supreme divinity, is verily Brahma Eva, is verily Amritan, this nectar of immortality. In front, Purastad is Brahma, Paschad is Brahma, he's behind. Brahma Dakshina, he's in the south and he's in the north. Uttarena, Adashtordang, he's above. Prasritang, he's below. He's below and above. This universe issued forth from the blessing of the chosen divinity. Borishtang, the Bora of the Ishta, Vishwam. The blessing of the Ishta, of the chosen deity, is this Vishwa, all that is perceivable in manifested existence, Brahma, Bhame, Vedam, all that is known. It all came from her. Etadri Ganu Babodhyasya Sakrit Sanatma Nasukshati Nakamshati. Who perceives this with an attitude of intensity? And I'm talking about Vyakulata, the attitude of sincerity, the attitude of intensity. For example, I love the book, and I love the dinner, and I love the beautiful lady sitting next to me, and I love God. And there are different intensities of love. The word love means different stuff according to the way I use it. In the same way, who perceives this with an attitude of intensity, like it's really important to us. He accomplishes his objectives, Kritartho Narottamaha, that excellent human being, sa, he, she, neuter, it, yes, yeah, Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma, Nasokshati, Nakanshati. He becomes a man of excellence, excuse me, ladies. He becomes the supreme divinity, Brahma Bhutaha, Prasanatma, with a contented soul. His Atma is Prasanata. He's got a contented soul, Nasochati, with a contented, with neither grief nor desires, Nakanshati. He doesn't have any kanshana, he doesn't have any shok, he doesn't have any suchi, asuchi. Suchi, asuchi, loe.
Diva kabe kabe shubhe যখন দুই সতীরে পিড়িয়ে থাকবে তখন শ্যামা মাকে পাবি।
Purity and impurity are the two wives of consciousness. When will the two wives hug each other? When the two wives realize that attachment is the cause of all of their problems, they will leave all attachment and learn to live together in perfect harmony. She becomes the contented soul with neither grief nor desires. Number 16, Dvitiyadhyay, boy Hanrajans, Tada Baba Bi Vetina. Natadiyogo Metyasti, Madiyogopi Tasyanam. From remembering a second, Dvitiyadhyay, Boyan Rajan, hey king, Rajan, fear arises when there are two. When there's only one, there's no fear. In order to have fear, there's got to be two. And so duality begets fear. Okay, without a second, there can be no fear. Neither can one be disunited from me, nor can I be disunited from him. So if we're one, you can't be afraid. You only fear when we're two, and you think I'm going to go away from you. And she does. And then she leaves me here on the earth, and I'm afraid. And then I cry, and then she comes back. 17, ahame vatsa soham be. I am only he. Aham eva sa soham be. Certainly this is known. Also he is I. Sa soham. Purusham prakriti. The consciousness and energy, the consciousness and nature are one. Boy, Nishchitam Vidi Parvata, hey mountain, oh mountain, if you know this to a certainty, with a certainty, this is known, Madarshanam tu tatra thyad, yatra gyani stito mama, where I am perceived, there my Gyani is situated, and a Gyani is one who has the wisdom. The knower of wisdom is wherever I am. He's with me all the time. In fact, he's so wise, he doesn't want to leave. Nahang tirte na kailase. Neither do I reside in any sacred place of pilgrimage, not tirte. Not Kailase, nor in Kailash, the home of Lord Shiva. I'm not there either. Go ahead, take a trip to Kailash and see if you find me. Vaikunte Bhatna Karkichit. Nor am I in Vaikunta, the home of Lord Vishnu, nor any such place. Basami Kintu Magyani. I reside Basami Kintu Magyani. I dwell in the middle of the lotus of the heart of my Gyani. Someone who knows me enough to be devoted to me. That's whose heart I reside in. Basami, I reside in with a certainty, within such I dwell in the middle of Magyani, Hridayam Ambuj, Madhye Me. In the middle of the Madhye, in the middle of the lotus, Ambuj, Hridayam, in the heart, my Gyani of the man of wisdom, Vasami, I reside, me. That's where you'll find me. In the middle of the lotus of the heart of a man of wisdom. That's where I make my house. It's not in Nashik, and it's not in Goti, it's not in Costa Rica, it's not in Napa, it's in the middle of the lotus of the heart of the wise men. I remember a verse from the book of Proverbs in the Bible. It said, when you find a man of wisdom, let your foot wear out his doorstep. Number 19, Mat Puja Koti Paladam. Sakrin Maganir Nordchanam. 10 million times the fruit of my worship. Sakrin Maganir Nordchanam. Mat Puja Koti Paladam. Giving the fruit 10 million times of my puja. Sakrin Magani and Orchana, whoever offers to my devotee, to my Gyani, to one who knows me, Sakrin Ma Kulang Pavitran Tasyasti, his family becomes pure, and his mother, Janani, Krita Krityaka, attains the fruition of karma. If you worship me, that's nice. But if you worship my Gyani, someone who has the love and the devotion and the wisdom to live with me, that's 10 million times better. Vishwambara Punyavati, Chileo Yasya Chaitasa, Brahmagyanantuya Prishtang. The universe becomes clothed with merit. Punyavati. It wears this gown of merit. Vishwambara. It wears bara. It's the cloth of merit. Punyavati. Vishwa. Chilayo. When you bow with respect to one whose consciousness is absorbed in the wisdom of supreme divinity. Chilayo yasyate tasa Brahmagyanantu yaprishtang Tvaya parvata satama. Almost true among mountains, Parvata Satamam Tvaya, you who are most true among the mountains. If you bow with respect to one whose consciousness absorbed in the wisdom of supreme divinity, the universe becomes clothed in merit. 21 Katitan Maya Sarvam Nato Vyaktam Mastihi Idam Cheshtaya Putraya Bhakti Yutaya Siline. All has been explained by me. Katitan, all explained. Tanmaya Sarvam, all Sarvam Tanmaya by me. Nato Vyaktama Masti. And there remains nothing. Nato, Naato, nothing left to be spoken. Vyaktam Asti. There is Asti, nothing. No to, Nato. Idam Jeshtaya Putraya. This may be conveyed to the oldest son, Jeshtaputra. Bhakti Utaya Siline, who is filled with devotion, Bhakti Utaya. He is yukta with bhakti, and Shiline, he is the repository of good qualities. Shishaya Yatoktaya, to disciples and others who are suitable. Yatoktaya Vyaktavyam Nan Yatakpachit. But it is not to be imparted to others who are not. Don't go passing out incense in the airport. You tell people who want to know. Don't try to raise money and do it for other reasons. Share your love of God with people who ask. And don't impose upon their worldliness. Do not allow our love of God to become an imposition to anyone else's attachment to the world. To those who have the highest devotion for the gods, Yasya Devi Parabhaktir, who has the Parabhakti to the Deva, to the gods, Yata Devi, Tata Guru, and equally for the Guru, as just as for the gods, they love the Guru just as they love the gods. Hey, Guru. They love the Guru just like they love the gods. Tasyete katita gyata prakashate makatvana inopadishta vidyayam saeva Parameshwara. To such as these should the meanings be explained. So the great souls have declared, Yena upadishtam vidyayam saeva Parameshwara. The knowledgeable ones have explained that you give it to people who are pure and desiring to hear about God. Don't go imposing upon the people who are attached to the world and want to remain with the world. Who imparts this instruction is to be regarded even as the supreme Lord of all. Yeno padishtam vidyayam, who gives this ishta vidyayam and imparts this sikat Say, he imparts this knowledge to others. Say, Eva, he alone, Parameshwara, is to be regarded as the supreme divinity of all divine souls, the supreme Lord of all. Number 24, Yashya Ayam Sakritam Kartu. Ma Kartum Samartas Rani, who has received the benefits of this excellent action of instruction, yes, ya ayam, su kritang kartum, who get the fruit of this karma, asamart. He is incapable and will remain debted. Has no capacity to be free from debt, because this is the highest gift, the gift of wisdom. To give someone the information and the knowledge and the inspiration to become a Jnani, in whose heart, the lotus of whose heart resides the Divine Mother. This is the greatest of all gifts that could be given while in manifested existence. Who has received the benefits of this excellent action, giving the instruction, has no capacity to be free from debt. It is said that a greater authority resides with a father, has bestowed birth in Brahma, in divinity. Pitro Yadika Prakto Brahma Janma Pradayaka, greater than the father who gives birth to the body is the authority Praukto, greater authority Brahma Janma Pradayaka, to one who gives birth in supreme divinity. Let me tell you a little story. It comes from the first canto of Devi Gita. And remember, Varuna cursed Harishchandra that he would be afflicted by pain, because Harishchandra promised that if Varuna blessed him with a son, then he would sacrifice the son. So Harishchandra was blessed with a child. In fact, he had 3 children. His name Ajigartha. Ajigartha was the Brahman. And he was blessed that he would have a son. And he had 3 sons. And then I'm sorry, Harishchandra had 3 sons. And Varuna came and said, give me the son. You promised. And Harishchandra said, wait, the son was just born. He doesn't have teeth yet. He doesn't have knowledge. He doesn't have a sacred thread. He hasn't eaten any food. How can I slay the son that I just gave birth to? I've been longing for a son for so long. And here you gave me the boon of having a son. Let me stay with him a little while, and then I'll sacrifice him. And Varuna said, oh, okay, I give you that boon, but don't get too attached, because remember your promise to God. Harishchandra was delighted. He was filled with bliss, and he called all the Brahmins, and he made an utsav, he made a fast, and he made a bandara, and he fed everybody, and he gave lavish dakshina, and he gave new cloth and money and everything he could do to celebrate the birth of the son. And Varuna came back and said, okay, give me the son. Harishchandra said, the son hasn't eaten solid food yet. Let me give him his first meal, and then I'll sacrifice him. And Varuna said, don't lie to me. Don't go back on your word, O king, or I will curse you. Well, 6 months passed, and the son was given solid food, and the Harishchandra called all the Brahmins and he made a feast for the entire kingdom. And then Varuna came and said, give me the son. And so Harishchandra said, well, he just listen to my idea. This is Dharma. I'm only talking to you about a point of the code of Dharma. What is the highest ideal of perfection? This son doesn't know anything. He won't understand the reason for the sacrifice. Let him go to school and let him graduate from school and let him get a degree, and then I'll sacrifice the son. Excuse me. Well, Varuna said, okay, but don't get too attached to that son, because you're going to have to sacrifice that son. And so Harishchandra sent his son to Brihaspati's ashram, and he learned the Vedas, and he learned Vedanta, and he learned the Svaras, and he learned all the tenets of Sanatana Dharma, and he learned how to be a great king. And he attained time for his graduation. And he was returning from the Guru's ashram, and he was coming home to meet his father, and Indra came in the way, and he said, if you go there, your father's going to sacrifice you. He promised Varuna he's going to cut off your head and make that as an offering to the gods. Don't go there. Well, the son was petrified. And he ran up into the mountains and he hid in a cave. And Varuna came to Harishchandra and said, give me the son. It's time for his graduation. I said, Harishchandra said, I can't give you the son. He didn't come back from school yet. Varuna said, you've been putting me off on one excuse after another excuse, and I'm afraid this is just another lie, a stalling technique, and I'm going to curse you. You're going to be beset with pain, and it'll be unbearable pain. And he threw the Ganga water at Harishchandra, and Harishchandra immediately was filled with pain. And he said, oh, this pain is unbearable. I've got to find a way to get rid of the pain. And Varuna said, if you had done what you promised to do in the first place, you would have had all this pain. So you've got to complete your promise to God. And Harishchandra said, what can I do? The son didn't come back from graduation. He didn't come back from school. I have no son to sacrifice. And Varuna said, there are 5 kinds of sons. There's a son that you give birth to from your own union with your own wife. And there's a son that is won as the spoils of war. When you conquer another kingdom and you conscript the children of that kingdom, then you can take them into your own family and they raise them as your own children. And then there is a son that is given birth to by wisdom. When you initiate a son and give him the mantra which brings him to freedom. And there are other 2 kinds of children, and I'm not remembering them right now. But Varuna said, go buy a son. So Harishchandra sent out his ministers all throughout the kingdom. And they said, will anybody sell me their son? I need a son to complete the sacrifice so that Varuna will free me from the pain. And everybody said, boo! What? Who are you? You're a disciple of Donald Trump? What are you doing? You're absolutely, this is all dharma. You want to buy a son so you can kill the son so you will be free? What kind of a horrible person are you? And there was one poor Brahmin named Arjigartha. And Arjigartha had 3 sons, and he was so poor, he couldn't feed the 3 boys. And he said, well, the oldest son is going to perform my funeral rites when I die. And the youngest son is too young to understand what's going on. But the middle son, if I sold the middle son, I'd get enough money to feed the other two, and we would live a very comfortable life. And the middle son's name was Shunashep.
Mm.
And Shunashepa was sold to Horish Chandra. And Horish Chandra said, prepare the sacrifice. I'm going to sell. I bought this son fair and square. I've got the papers right here. He's my son, and I'm sacrificing him to Varuna and make me free from this pain. And so they tied Sunashepa to the sacrificial post, and they called, all right, who will execute this son? And the boy was crying so pitifully. And Vishwamitra rose up and said, oh, pitifully. And the king said, Harishchandra said, be free from pain. And so, will anybody please slay this child so I can go back to my normal life? And the child was crying and screaming, and suddenly Ajigat, his father, stood up and said, double your price, king, and I will slay the son. And everyone said, boo! Boo, what kind of father are you? He said, it's easy for you to talk. You don't know the pain of poverty. You know, you all are filled with so much. You have so much that you can afford to waste. I need the food to sustain my family. I will sacrifice the son. Well, they tied the post. The father raised the sword above his strike. And Vishwamitra stood up and he went to Shunashepa and he whispered in his ear, you say this mantra. Namo Mahabhyo, Namo Abhakebhyo, Namo Jubabhyo, Namaha Ishtabaha, Yatha Shunama, Namastu, Namastu, Namastu. I bow to you, I bow to you, I bow to you. And Shunashepa began to sing the hymn of redemption, the hymn of liberation. Ajigartha raised the sword above his head, ready to strike the sun down in a moment. And suddenly, Varuna appeared and said, stop! I bow to you. Free the sun. I will free the king from his disease. I will let everybody go home. And they will all be free and resume their previous positions. He is a true seer. He is a true rishi. And I cannot stand by and witness the sacrifice of a rishi. He will protect the Vedas. He sang the hymn of liberation to all the seers of the past. I bow to all the seers of the present. I bow to all the seers of the future. With one-mindedness, I bow to you all. Please protect me, all of you. And Varuna gave the blessing, and Harishchandra was freed from disease. Shunashepa was cut loose from the sacrificial pole. And he said to the assembly of sadhus and rishis and all the gods who assembled, who is my father? And some said, well, Ajigarth gave birth to you, so you are his son. go home with Ajigartha. And some said, Horish Chandra paid the price and he bought you fair and square. He has the paper. He has the title. You go home with Horish Chandra. And Vashishta stood up in the assembly and said, no. Vishwamitra gave him the mantra which freed him from bondage to material existence and gave him life everlasting. You go home with Vishwamitra. So it is said that a greater authority resides with a father who has bestowed birth in Brahma, in divinity. The father who gives birth to a body, his gift will be destroyed. Pitri jatan janma nashtan, his janma nasht hoga. Netraham jatan kadachana, his gift will be destroyed. Tasmai nagyuhyam vidyadi, but the birth in divinity is never destroyed. Nigamotabhya naga, O king, therefore do not cause harm to him whose speech has caused knowledge. If the speech gives knowledge, Tasmai gyuhyam Aditya, who gives illumination and knowledge, Nigamotya Buddha Naga. To him whose speech has caused knowledge, his gift will never be destroyed. Tasmat Shastrasya Siddhanto. Therefore, in all the conclusions of the scriptures, Tasmat, therefore, Shastra, Sya, in the Siddhanta, in the conclusions, in the philosophies, in the Siddhanta, in the highest expressions of the scriptures, Brahmadatta Guru Para, who imparts the knowledge of Brahma, of the supreme knowledge, is the highest Guru, Guru Para. Shiva Rushte Guru Strata. If Shiva becomes Rushta, if Shiva is angry, Guru Strata, the Guru can take that anger away. Guru Rushte Shankara. But if the Guru becomes angry, Shankar cannot take away that anger. She remains angry. Don't incur the anger of the Supreme Divinity. Tasmat sarva prayatnena, therefore sparing no effort, sarva prayatnena, by means of every sarva, all prayatna, efforts. Sri Guru Sotoshayen Naga, the respected Sri Guru should be pleased. Santosha Toshayen, O mountain Naga, Kayena by body, Manasa by mind, Vacha by speech, Sarvada always, Tatparo, this is foremost. Bhavet. That is the foremost duty of a disciple. By all means, every time you get the opportunity, make sure the Guru is santosh, is satisfied, is pleased. Anyatha to kritagnasyat. Otherwise, if a disciple become ungrateful, be ungrateful, kritagna syat, kritagne na asti niskriti, in his lack of gratitude, he destroys what has been accomplished. Indrena arthava no yukta. Shirascheda Pratigaya. When Indra Atharvan, when Indra taught Atharvan this wisdom, he took the promise that he would sever his head if he ever imparted it to another. Shirascheda Pratigaya. Pratigaya, promise. Cheda, cutting. You see here, his head. So Atharva, he said to Atharva, I'm going to cut off your head if you share this wisdom in an unauthorized way. In number 29, Ashwidyan Katane Tasya, the Ashwin twins asked to learn from Atharva. Katane, Atharvyam, Shirashchinang, the Brajina. Whereupon he told Vajrina, who holds the thunderbolt, Vajra, would cut his head if he imparted the knowledge. So what was the solution? Ashwinam Tachiro Nashta. Then the Ashwins cut his head themselves. They cut the head off him themselves. Dristva Boyo Sarotamo, replacing it with another, and received all the knowledge from that excellent divinity, Shirotamo, Utamo Sura, from that excellent divinity, that Sura Uttam, Dristva, they received the knowledge, Punaha Sanyojitam Swiyam, when Indra cut the head which spoke, then again they affixed his own original head, Swiyam Tavyam Muni Shirastada. Then the wise man kept his head. So what happened? He said, I'm going to cut off your head if you give this knowledge to anybody else. So the twins, they came and said, give us the knowledge. He said, Indra's going to cut off my head if I give the knowledge. They said, we'll cut it off ourselves, and then you give us the knowledge, and then when Indra cuts off the new head, we'll fix your old head back on. And then the wise man kept his head. Iti sankata sampada. Thus, with great difficulties must be overcome to attain the knowledge of the supreme Brahma Vidya. Nagadipa, O chief of mountains, Nagadipa, chief of mountains, Brahma Vidya प्राप्त करने के लिए, in order to achieve the Brahma Vidya, the supreme knowledge, great difficulties must be overcome. Whoever obtains it is blessed. Achieve yena sadanya, they become blessed. And attain the effects of all of good actions, of all of the actions. They attain the effects of all actions. Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. And that completes chapter 8. Thank you all very much for listening. We send you all our love and all our blessings. Sorry, we went a little bit late today, but we completed the chapter.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Namaste, everybody.
Pranam.
Ram Swamiji,
Pranam.
thank
Oh,
Namaste,
my
Swamiji.
goodness,
Thank you.
so many
Pranam.
visitors to
Welcome.
see us,
Namaste,
Mama.
Ma.
There's Grame and Horish and Jen and Gopi and Erika and Ambe and Charles and Krishna and there's Srima.
Tomorrow I'm going to do something.
In the morning, our time. What time? 7 o'clock. The Srima is going to do the chutney with Purija. And we'll try and set up the phone and try and be able to join in and chant along with her at 7 o'clock Indian Standard Time. So I don't know what time it is anywhere else in the world, but we love you all very much. And please enjoy the Chandi tomorrow morning. Namaste.